Are you able to hear?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes. Thank you.
So, okay. So now we come to law of reflection. Earth is an amazing place of learning where you are constantly being given an opportunity to look at yourself in a mirror. Why is that? Because of like attracts like. The mirror of the universe is so honest and accurate that your deepest secrets show up in the reflections you see of yourself. Every single person and situation in your life is a mirror of an aspect of you, as within, so without. Okay. When you see yourself in a mirror, you may not like what you see. You may claim the reflection is distorted, but you rarely insist that it is someone else entirely that you see. You don't believe, but what you say is you don't accept what you are seeing. That's what he's trying to say. When the universe presents us with someone or something in life, this is equally a mirror. We can rant about it or deny it. However, the spiritual law of reflection reminds us to look in the mirror and change ourselves. So, spiritually, right, it is a reflection of what is inside because everything is as within, so without. When you look in a mirror and you see that your eyes look heavy and tired, you do not try to change the reflection. You eat a healthier diet. Pardon? What was that? Some sound? You eat a healthier diet and get more sleep so that the reflection changes. When there is someone you do not like in your life, you can, of course, spend time and energy trying to fix or change. इसका आवाज आ रहा है right? You spend time and energy trying to fix or change him or her. If you do this, you are trying to change the reflection. You are not changing the root. You are changing the shadow. Right? It is a form of denial. People who do this are known as rescuers. They would rather spend time changing the reflection than working on themselves. It's a very powerful, loaded sentence. When you understand the law of reflection, you never again try to get someone else to be different in order that you feel more comfortable. You observe the outer and change the inner. Okay? Those people in your life that you do not like are showing you aspects of yourself you do not feel comfortable with. If you have a friend who seems very callous, ask yourself where you are hard hearted. If your child is hostile, look within at your own anger. Imagine that your boss is completely disorganized and chaotic, if you pride yourself on your togetherness and your sense of responsibility, you are probably quite angry at him for being so unlike you and may well tell yourself he is not a mirror. That is, when you don't like someone, you don't think about this formula. Nevertheless, look within yourself for an aspect of you that is untidy. Possibly a little bit of you wants to be carefree and irresponsible. If, as a child, you were kept under tight discipline, or there were high expectations of you, there may be a part of you that is fearful of making a mistake or being careless. See, this is a wonderful lesson. Though we might have passed that age, we can still notice these kind of behaviors amongst ourselves. If you have always had to be responsible and in control, it is terrifying to let go. The inner part of you that wants to be irresponsible is reflected in people around you. To the extent that you are angry at your boss, you are angry at the chaotic part of yourself that appears in the mirror. Why is this? You think that your boss is disorganized. That is the reason why you are feeling like this. If someone in your life has an attribute that genuinely does not bother you, it does not reflect you, and you will not even notice it. So, the more a characteristic in someone else bothers you, the more your soul is trying to draw a reflection to your attention. What a powerful message here, right? Very powerful.
Yes, sir.
All the people that you really like are mirroring aspects of yourself that you feel good about. Take anyone that you like, respect, or admire. Think about the qualities that you like about them. Those qualities are to some extent within you. What you like is already within you. You would not have attracted that person, nor would you notice those parts of them if they were not within you. Any experiences of this nature in life? Just think, reflect, and write down your notes on that, okay? The magic mirror of the universe is showing you a beautiful part of yourself that you may not be in touch with. Enhance these qualities by practicing them, and more people with these fine characteristics will enter your life. Right? So, if the universe really wants to draw your attention to something, it will give you 3 mirrors to look into at once. A client said to me, I have never seen 3 birds with broken wings this way. What does that tell me? As an object science also, this makes a lot of significance in spiritual decoding. Would you agree?
Yes.
Right? You cannot fly with a broken wing. The first characteristic. I suggested she looked at where she felt her freedom was curtailed. That means if you are seeing this object, that you are seeing birds with broken wings, the meaning is the bird cannot fly with a broken wing. Immediately she said that her husband did not want her to go to workshops as she was spending too much time away from him. She felt restricted, really restricted. The universe was mirroring back to her the sense of her wings being clipped. So, Raghu sir, when we are diagnosing someone, this is a very important lesson for us. If someone is saying something, we can verify that they are having those qualities inside them. I don't like you means you have something that you don't like in yourself. Right? So those kind of things. It was time for her to communicate honestly with her husband. Then the second, if you notice 3 blind people one day, it might suggest you are not seeing something. If you notice 3 accidents, you might consider where you are going too fast or heading for disaster. Beautiful meaning, right? Everything is a reflection. Water reflects what is happening to your emotions or spirituality. Because water is a characteristic of Swadhisthana chakra, so emotions. Okay. And spirituality is water again. So if your emotions are leaking, in other words, you have unshed emotions, that means unexpressed emotions, right? You may find faucets drip or radiators. I knew someone whose roof leaked and the water dripped onto his divorce papers. Nothing else was touched, only those papers. He had never really dealt with the feelings about the breakup of his marriage. He had not dealt with it, so he was reminded. Rivers, lakes, oceans carry the emotional and spiritual life force of an area. Are you drawn to turbulent seas or tranquil lakes? Remember too that water symbolically washes and purifies. Even that is possible. Fire is hot and bright. A campfire or a fire in the fireplace may indicate a peaceful center. Why? Why? Any input? What is fireplace meant for?
To generate heat.
To generate heat or light a fire. To light a fire.
Yeah.
Right. So if it is at the right place, that means it is fine. Where it should be fire, it is fire. That's okay.
Yeah.
A ramping out of control.
No, sorry. What is the problem with the fireplace?
No, it's not a problem. Fire is hot and bright. A campfire or a fire in the fireplace may indicate a peaceful center. Everything is in peace. Everything is in order.
So the place you decided to lit the fire is a fireplace. What you mean to say?
Right. So a rampaging out of control conflagration reflects the anger and hostility of all those affected by it. If this is the case, that means someone is being affected by it. Getting it?
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Right? Now what you have got? Fire is also a great transmuter of negative energy. Okay? If there is fire, these are some of the inputs that you take. Is it at the right place where it should be? Should it generate light and heat there? Then everything is in harmony. The equilibrium is not disturbed. Getting it? See how
Yeah.
beautifully object science is being taught here to us. I used to wonder when someone diagnosed using object science, but do you see the beauty? It is nothing but spiritual law at work. Okay. Earth is solid, but can be suffocating or boring if you get stuck in the mud. Right? It can be boring also. Earth is solid, but can be suffocating and boring. If you get stuck in the mud, it has something to tell you about your life. Maybe you're stuck in life, you're not progressing. Or you are very untidy. An earthquake tells you that foundations of your life you thought were secure are not. From earth, there is new growth.
So does it mean, sir, in Japan, there are so many earthquakes coming? So does it reflect the same thing for those people also?
Yes. Okay, but typically object science is something that, yeah, they are all attracting that. They want everything new at all times. They want new growth every time. Air has great energy. It represents communication and new ideas. If you are sitting in a draft that irritates you, it may be that someone's communication irritates you. If you are sitting in a drought or a turf of air, right, or a draft of air that is blowing at you and it is irritating you, that means someone's communication is irritating. A hurricane blows away outmoded thinking from an area and heralds the new. Fresh air also blows away cobwebs. So this is another input that we can consider.
Yeah, this law of reflection is very,
No, every law that we have studied has told us something.
yeah. No, but here the question is like when you find your boss as an irritating person, so where is that question of irritation in you? Like, is it like in you or
No, there is something that is happening which is irritating you. Okay. Right? Then he is talking about every part of your car represents some aspect of you. If your brakes fail, it may be a
so I'll give you an
warning.
example, sir. Sir, one of my pet peeves was like anyone who is coming late to work, I used to get very angry and I used to yell at them. If that person has not called me that there is a delay for some reason, I used to really get mad.
Okay.
So let's analyze this behavior from the law of reflection. See, I am not liking a behavior, and See, it so happened that one of my one of my team members, she was so mad at me for yelling at her. The office time used to be 8 o'clock, and she came to at 6:30 to office just to prove the point, and she wanted to knock my door, and I was already present there. Okay. So she was kind of very mad at herself. So the point is like, why this is a quality I don't like in others, and when I
Right.
face it, I cannot tolerate it.
You can't tolerate it, right? It could
Yeah.
be two things. Now, where is the context that you are applying this? What context are you applying it to? You need to see that scenario, right?
Uh,
That scenario should be a problem for you.
no, I'm not,
Right.
actually, I'm not understanding your point.
No. See, if you have a difficulty, if some difficulty, you are not liking something happening,
Yeah,
correct?
yeah.
Right. Now, what is the context in which you are applying that? If it is for an outcome which is for the betterment of the entire organization, then you are right.
Okay.
Wherever this is causing a problem for you, then you will look at what are those qualities that I need to change in myself.
Can I add something here?
Yeah.
So, sir, if somebody does this, so we need to look at that what meaning are we giving? Are we giving that meaning that person is irresponsible for the work?
Kanchan,
Yeah.
there is
Yes,
a
sir.
lot of background noise.
I'll write.
ठीक है तो बाद में आने के बाद में तुम जब ज्वाइन करोगे तब बात करते हैं.
So
Okay.
one other example, sir. For example, like villages, like and all, a woman does not like her husband to drink and come home. Okay, but most of the villages, the people do that, right? So let us apply this law of reflection to that example. There will be many things
Okay.
that you don't
No.
like, but you get into a situation.
But why is your husband behaving like that? You don't know all those details, no? You don't know about the relationship. You can't simply take an example and then directly apply the scenario. You need to consider all the inputs. Suppose I had given you my example in which I was driving the car, my car stopped and the police fellow pulled out his book to punish me.
Mhm.
Right? If I give you only that much information, what will you apply it to? You need a context, right?
Yes. No,
That context is missing in the example that you are giving.
no, I hear you, but at the same time, see, every time, like in every example, there is a quality that you don't like, which is coming up from the other person.
Correct. If it is harming, if it is causing a damage, it needs to be corrected. That's why he says, no, in some places that it will, if it is something that suits you, you will ignore that. But suppose you are not ignoring and that is causing a problem, that is causing a scenario by virtue of which you are not able to progress. You are getting stuck somewhere. Then
Yes.
that is when you need to consider what is happening.
So the point what I'm trying to make is like in case of say your wrinkles on the face or something like that, as you look at the mirror. So okay, you know the medical solution and you may go and apply that.
See, you can't take one yardstick and apply it everywhere, correct?
Yeah.
You need to a situation which is causing you a problem.
No, exactly, sir. I'm coming to that. See, in this case, like I do not know the reason why I get irritated for someone to come late. If I was that woman, I don't know the reason why I don't like my husband to come home drinking. So, I mean, basically, we don't know the reasons why we
Correct.
adopted
So
that
that is
behavior.
what we have to probe. But if you were the subject and the victim, you will know what the reason is. if you are the subject and the
Uh-huh.
person who is suffering both, you
Uh,
will know what the reason is.
yes.
Okay. Then you know where you have to correct yourself. This is for your self-analysis. See, or if you are a counselor, you will have to probe to find out what is the reason. You need to probe. You need to probe deeper.
Okay, that's fine. Let's continue.
Hmm? Yeah. Okay. So you need to identify. See, what is the meaning of this mirror is showing me something? Okay. What is it trying to tell me? It is trying to tell me something. If it is relevant to me, I need to go deeper. Okay. Now, you may, if your behavior is not showing tolerance where it is required, what will happen to your team? Will you have a team first of all? Then you see a problem. Oh, why is my team running away from me always? Why is my team running away from me?
Okay.
Only then it is a problem, right? So what will you do? Will you throw away the person?
No.
You will admonish them. Okay. But if your admonishing is going to impact the project that you are working on, right? So the outcome will impact something else. Your behavior is going to impact something else.
Sir, I have one input for Rama sir. What I am thinking, maybe Rama sir is going in a very punctual manner to the office, but
Correct.
deep inside him, in some corner, he really wants to come cool and maybe aram se. So, which is unable to do because of his professional responsibilities. बट डीप इनसाइड हिम ही वांट्स टू कम कूल. आज मैं भी लेट जाता हूं बट जा नहीं पाते हैं. तो जब वो बिहेवियर उनको मिरर होता है सामने किसी को, देन ही गेट्स इरिटेटेड बिकॉज ही इज नॉट एबल टू फुलफिल दैट पर्टिकुलर हैप्पीनेस
That also
of
is quite
coming late.
possible. Quite possible.
Yeah.
तो आपके अंदर कहीं ना कहीं ये छुपा है कि यार मैं भी लेट आता, मैं भी थोड़ा फैमिली के साथ और बैठ जाता, बट वो हो नहीं पाता है बिकॉज ऑफ योर प्रोफेशनल रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज.
No, that is one way to look at it. The other way is
मतलब
the
आई एम जस्ट
context.
टॉकिंग अबाउट,
No,
आपने
what
जो
you're
कहा
saying is
कॉन्टेक्स्ट
perfect.
इज व्हाट, आप जो कह रहे कॉन्टेक्स्ट
Maybe
इज ओके,
that is a
बट देन जस्ट टू
quality.
मेक. हाँ,
Beautiful. No,
एग्जैक्टली
What
एग्जैक्टली.
you are saying also is the second point that I should be talking about, which
यस.
is
सो
maybe you are going late somewhere and causing an irritation. You are neglecting something, and you are causing a similar reaction somewhere else, which is the point Mishra sir is bringing out.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you are neglecting some portion where someone else is getting impacted. So this behavior of your team member is coming and giving you a message.
Yeah, yeah.
For example, I have another example. One of my friend in New Jersey, he stays in Brunswick. So वो न्यूयॉर्क में पढ़ा, स्ट्रक्चर डिजाइन करता है. उसका टाइम है सुबह 6 बजे उठ के नहा के ट्रेन पकड़ के ऑफिस जाएगा. ऑफिस टाइमिंग is 8:39, what
Hmm.
वो 7:30 पहुंच जाएगा.
वो मेरे जैसा है.
Despite his requirement in the family at that point of time, एक छोटा बच्चा था, wife sometimes in before that she was not keeping well in terms of her health, but still वो अपना काम 6 बजे उठ के 7 बजे निकल जाएगा. सो ये जो बैक एंड इरिटेशन था, आपने किसी को टाइम नहीं दिया, वो आपको रिफ्लेक्ट हो रहा है जी मैं आपको टाइम नहीं देता या देती. सो योर पीपल इन फ्रंट ऑफ यू आर शोइंग कि आप किसी को टाइम नहीं दे रहे हो, देखो हम आपको भी टाइम नहीं दे रहे. दैट इज वन पॉइंट ऑफ थिंकिंग एट इट. सेकेंड पॉइंट
That's
विच आई
what.
टोल्ड यू सेकेंड पॉइंट विच आई टोल्ड यू, डीप डाइव आपके पास वो क्वालिटी है जो आप करना चाहते हो लेकिन कर नहीं पा रहे हो. That is also getting reflected, which is making irritation.
Correct.
So there can be many aspects, but it depends on the person's deep dive thought कि यार मेरे अंदर क्या है जो मुझे दिख रहा है. मैं और
Correct.
मोदाली जी कुछ नहीं कर सकते इसमें.
See, you have to do that analysis of, is that a quality you are reflecting? One. Two, is that quality for the betterment of everyone? Then probably you don't have to take any action on it. You need to, right? So there are 4 or 5 options of analysis or pathways that you need to bring out. So let us read this.
Okay, go ahead, sir. Go ahead, sir.
Every part of your car represents an aspect of you. If your brakes are failing, right? It may be a warning to stop something you are doing. The lights do not work. Can you see where you are going in life? The body gets scratched or dented. Are you feeling dented or battered? Right? Maybe you are being critical of yourself. Even then you will get scratched. So much criticality, is it important for you? There are so many. The horn refuses to make a sound. Is it time to speak up for yourself? Right? If you have a flat tire, are you feeling deflated? Right? Or are you about to commit a mistake? There are so many conclusions you can draw, correct? So the context also is important. Is someone letting you down? Are you letting yourself down or not supporting yourself? Dead battery. Are you feeling run down? Have you run out of energy? Now, these are all the situations that are reflecting that particular scenario in your life. You are going through that experience. If you cannot work out what the reflection is, talk about what that piece of machine does. For instance, my car keys have batteries in them. The battery went dead on the spare one. Before I had time to deal with it, the other went flat. Okay, that means if you cannot work out, look at the sequence of instances. Neither worked and I could not get into my car. The spare key allows other people access to my car, that is me. Okay? My key allows me access to my consciousness. Other keys, that means they can approach you. Are you seeing the way you are analyzing? So there are going to be 3 scenarios for each scenario. That's what he's trying to say. Because earlier he explained, right? They will always come in 3. Right? They will always reflect in 3, correct? He said that somewhere.
Yeah.
right? So, okay, my key access allows me, my key access allows me access to my consciousness. The battery is the energy that fuels them. As both run out, they were reflecting to me that I was too tired to give anything to anyone else or myself. That means you need to recharge your battery or change your battery. Gears facilitate the movement from one speed to another. If they are grating, are you having difficulty making a move in your life or simply in shifting your consciousness about something? Animals reflect the qualities and characteristics of their owners. A well-disciplined, good-natured, friendly dog reflects an owner you can trust and feel comfortable with. A wild, savage, noisy animal will warn you to be careful of its owner, even if the surface impression is of a gentle person. That means there is some anger within him. We are complex people, and the different animals we own will reflect different aspects of us. Your cat may reflect your coolly detached work mode, while your dog shows you exuberant, friendly home personality. Ask someone what his or her animal is like, and you will learn a lot about them. See, what is he telling us? He says you talk to them about their animal quality, right? And that will reflect what they are or how they are. These are all things you can use in the hypnosis class that we are attending.
Yes, sir. Yesterday we learned that someone who appears to be calm will have a violent dog.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Right? Yeah. As I was writing this chapter with synchronicity, I read an article about the qualities and attitudes of different dogs. We chose a dog consciously, we choose a dog consciously or unconsciously to match ourselves. Steady, solid, tolerant, and good mannered and good natured breeds include Basset Hound, Bloodhound, Beagle, Bulldog, Saint Bernard, Mastiff, Irish Wolfhound, and Newfoundland. Clever dogs are trainable and observant, and those are the observant, and they are Doberman or Cardigan Welsh Corgi or Shetland Shepherd and Poodle. Protective dogs are territorial and dominant. Protective dogs who are territorial and dominant include Boxer, Rottweiler, Bull Terrier, Chow Chow, Bull Mastiff, and Giant Shawner. Friendly, affectionate dogs are Border Terrier, Bearded Collie, English Settler, English Springer Spaniel, Golden Retriever, Old English Sheepdog, Labrador, Cavalier, King Charles Spaniel, and Cocker Spaniel. Now, here I will tell you one very important input. He says Labradors are friendly dogs, right? I had 2 Labradors, and they were a terror to anyone who comes and touches our gate. Sometimes they would even jump over the gate and attack that fellow. Because they were trained to be that. They are highly trainable dogs. Right? So, these are all the generic characteristics that he is sharing with us. This can always be read. There is nothing specific. All animals, plants, trees, and even crystals represent qualities. The oak tree in your garden reflects your solid, dependable aspect. Because of the fear and loathing held in the collective mind about insects, they often mirror our shadow side. If your garden is flamboyant and colorful, it externalizes an extrovert part of you. Whether you consciously show it or not, if it is very neat, ordered, and tidy, you are likely to be the same. A family garden will reflect the predominant family characteristics. Whatever comes into your life, look into the mirror and see what it has to teach you. Everything need not necessarily be analyzed. If it is causing you a difficulty, analyze and learn. Once we understand the law of reflection, we can expand our spiritual growth by looking at what life is telling us. Our journey on earth becomes a fascinating and exciting experience. There are two ways to interpret what you see in a mirror. Ramakrishna sir, this is important based on the question. One is that you are seeing your projection. The other is that you are seeing an aspect that you have attracted. Okay. So there are two sides to the coin that has come into your life. Let us ask. To find a projection, talk about the person or situation. For example, you may say, you are a generous but aggravating person. Look within at your generous aspect and the part of you that is aggravating. Look at that quality, very similar quality. To find how you attracted the reflection, be aware of how the person or situations make you feel. What are you attracting? You make me feel inadequate, shows you a reflection of your inadequacy. Further information, see the chapter on law of projection and law of attraction. Both will apply. Okay? Never try to change someone else, for they are reflecting you. Look within and change yourself first. As within, so without will take effect. I think we will stop here if you don't mind. Because 9:30, there is a paid class that I have to attend on Akashic Records. Okay? So I request permission
Okay, sir.
from everyone that we will stop here.
Okay, sir.